Hi friends, in Planet Earth Dating, it's Wednesday, March 11th, 2015. Lynn and Jamie here, continuing our assignment. We've been working with Stan the scientist, his sister Josie, and all who have the disease that Josie has suffered with. Our intention, as always, is to do what is ours to do in all dimensions to trigger the awakening right now. And with that, it begins. We are in Stan's lab, and it's set up for the group experiment. People are beginning to arrive. The parents pushing their non-responsive children in various wheelchair kind of devices. And Stan is doing well. He's greeting them, shaking hands, and he's touching the hands of the comatose children as well. He's doing his job, and I feel very fizzy, very bubbly. We're part of this experiment. Stan, you're going to need to explain to these people why their children are going to begin to awaken even before they've had the drops placed under their tongues. You can say to them basically that the fumes are in the room, and that the fumes themselves may be enough to begin the process, and that you will follow it up with the drops under the tongue.
He's nodding.
To tell them this, because some of them, look, their eyelids are starting to twitch.
That's true. He's explaining it to them, showing them the beaker.
Yes. Yes. Now what we are doing is opening the portal wider, and we're tuning the energy. And what we see is that as we begin to tune the energy of the group, of all of us here in this room, it of course impacts especially the children, because children are very sensitive to energy shifts. We're not imposing our will on any of them. We're simply tuning the energy of the group and inviting them to join us should they wish. And they wish because it feels wonderful. And as their energy bodies align, it's like dark, thick molasses and blooping out of their energy bodies. We see that big dark river of, it looks like molasses and tarry blackness.
That's true.
Which has the energy of, it feels malevolent. It feels like it just hates these pure children for being pure. It believes it can't be pure, but of course it's nonsense.
That's true.
So Stan, while you are greeting the parents and the children, we're immediately turning our focus to this dark malevolence and seeing that for us the opportunity is to have a flash of light experiment. That right here there is a dark malevolence that wishes to dance the dark dance and has been dancing the dark dance with these pure children for a long time. Now, the children didn't know that they had the opportunity to dance the light dance.
That's true.
They didn't know that, but we are explaining it to them right now in their heads, in the heads of all of us in this room.
That's true.
In a way that the children will be able to understand.
Yes.
And that they have the chance to dance the light dance, and everyone always wants to dance the light dance.
Yes,
this is the desired seat, and how lucky for them that they have the desired seat in this dance. And their assignment is simple: to truly love this darkness. And what true love is to call the other into his or her greatness, and to see that this blackness is just so purely jealous of the purity and the light that these children carry, and that means the darkness actually wants to have that purity and that lightness for itself, but believes that it's impossible.
Yes, that's true.
And therefore has turned that desire to be lightness and to be purity into a blackness, and is hunting down those who are in fact light and pure, making them ill. So, easy peasy, kids. What we do is we truly love that blackness, call it into its greatness. We say, "Hi, can choose to love you.
I can
choose to love you. Loving someone is a choice. There isn't anything you can do or not do that can make me stop loving you. Since I am choosing to love you, and I see that you have power, you have greatness inside of you. You do. And so I start to call you into your greatness. Use that power you have as a force for light. Use that power you have as a force for healing. Use that power you have as a force for good. Use that power you have to reach from truth below to truth above. You can do it.
There we go.
You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. And it's as if the meeting hasn't really fully convened, and children are beginning to open their eyes and move. And it's all on video. The parent who's videoing is crying.
That's true.
Look, like tears are running down his face.
That's true.
He's crying. Just get it all on video. And now while we dance the dance, we help the children dance the dance.
That's true.
Stan is beginning to go around with the little drops, just putting a couple drops under each tongue. Sublingual.
That's true.
And we're working with them subliminally.
That's true.
So now kids, the drops help Stan believe that this can be done, but you yourselves are already feeling it happening, aren't you? And I see them nodding, and so you yourselves know that the drops aren't necessary because it was starting before the drops, right?
Yes, all of them agree.
So now, hatred is never healed by responding in kind. Through love alone is hatred healed. And this blackness is just, it is feeling very hateful, and that's okay.
That's true.
And we can heal that with love. And as we help the blackness come to a point of love, we ourselves are released.
That's true.
Merging more deeply, all of us as a group, working as a group to awaken.
That's true.
Somebody said something just now, a child said something.
That's true.
They're starting to speak. What's your perception? What's happening?
They're saying hello. And they're saying, like, don't bring me back to the hospital.
Those people there aren't nice.
I don't want to go back.
Those people there aren't nice.
Don't bring me back.
Parents are crying, and Stan is standing up.
That's true.
And he's saying, what we need is a place for our children to heal, a community home, so that the ones who are getting stronger can help the ones who are just beginning to heal. This is what our fundraising will go toward.
Yes.
A home for our children to heal inside of, and all the millions of children like them across our planet.
Yes.
And of course continuing the research to make this happen on a larger scale, on a huge scale, so that no other child ever has to suffer like our children have suffered.
Yes.
And now he's playing the video that he made of Josie less than an hour ago.
That's
is how
true.
it feels. It feels very recent.
Very recent.
It's like she's holding an iPhone or something that shows the date and time so that they can see when it was recorded. That was a good idea, Stan. And she's saying, I'm not angry about getting the disease.
That's true.
But I am really angry about what happened afterward.
Yeah,
and
that's
she's
true.
talking about the people in the hospital who are just flat out mean to victims who they perceive as being helpless, who won't ever be able to tell anybody about it. And she says it's happening and it's real, and nobody wants to consider that that's going on, but it is. Let me tell you about it. Let me tell you about it. And Stan is explaining to the other parents that he just wouldn't subject Josie to this extremely crowded room because it's crowded in here.
It's packed.
It's packed, standing room only.
That's true.
And so he's talking about how this has been triggered with expensive chemicals,
Yes.
and he's working to find another way to accomplish the same goal that's
That's true.
sustainable, but that the work isn't free, and that
That's
a home
true.
for these children isn't free, and for them to give as generously as they can, whatever this is worth to them, to have
That's
their
true.
own child awaken. And show of hands, kids, show of hands, not on behalf of the kids.
That's true.
Children, kids, raise your hands if you feel you have awakened.
It's just a room full of hands.
It's a room full of hands and crying parents.
That's true.
Now, when Josie awakened, and it has only been a week or so
That's true.
since that happened, Stan is saying, when Josie awakened, at first speech was difficult, its fine motor control.
That's true.
Larger motions were easier for her, but you see on the video how she's able to speak and how there's
That's
nothing wrong with her perceptive abilities or her communication skills. She's an 11-year-old girl and she's
It's
speaking
true.
just fine. And she's been sick since she was 7.
It's true. The parents are starting to get out checkbooks.
Yeah. And I'm going to ask for a volunteer to go. This is Stan speaking.
Yes.
I'm going to ask for a volunteer to go around, and it looks like a basket,
Yes.
literally a wicker basket,
Yes.
going around with the basket and collecting the donations. And
Yes.
this is being presented on a love offering basis, quote unquote.
Right.
Give what you feel this is worth for you, to
That's
see your
true.
child wake up,
That's
and
true.
to provide a home for all these children, because we can't send them back to the hospitals where they've already
No.
been so mistreated.
That's true.
And we don't have the capacity to care for them individually in our individual homes.
That's
We
true.
don't. We don't have the training or the capacity.
That's
But
true.
to have a central location where we can bring all our children so they can heal together until
true.
they are fully vibrant and living fully beyond normal lives, until they are
Yes.
living high achieving lives. Don't try for normalcy. Go for the gong. Intend for them to be high achievers, over the top high achievers, best of the best.
That is true.
And now again, we're the voice inside the heads of the children, and we're saying, love that force, just love it. You are here to awaken the planet. You're here to trigger the awakening.
That's true.
That is why you are here. That is why you've all been stricken with this disease, because this black force, out of its own confusion and
That's
own
true.
pain and own feelings of inadequacy, have felt that it must attack those who have been born to awaken the planet.
It's true.
It's just confusion, and what it wants is love, what it needs is love, and by
That's
loving
true.
it, perhaps the rest of them will awaken without the treatment. Whew! But certainly with the treatment we will awaken.
It's true.
And we can learn to awaken others. It's a teachable, learnable skill. We can do it.
That's true.
We can do it. So if any of you are able to speak right now, we're still the voice inside the head of
Yes.
these children, then turn to your parents who are with you and call them by whatever you call them, mom or
Yeah,
dad, or
it's
mommy
true.
or daddy or mama. Call to them right now.
It's like a room full of children's voices.
And parents crying,
Yes.
and more checks being written,
That's true.
and more checks being written, and some of them wanting to pay by credit card.
Yes. We have a credit card swiper. There
Stan,
we
aren't you
go.
glad you got your credit card swiper
That's
card?
true.
There we go. So now ask for a parent volunteer to run the card swiper. Show her how to do it, and then let her do that so that you can talk to the people.
That's true.
And now shake their hands. So do this. Ask the parents to voice what they believe the child's vision is. Not what their vision is, but what they believe their child's vision is. And the kids can shake their heads yes and no. They can nod yes and shake their heads
That's
no.
true.
And they can help their parents see what the child's own vision is.
That's true.
And there's a lot of parents who don't have their child's vision accurate.
That's
I
true.
see a lot of kids' heads
Shaking.
shaking. I feel like it's after the meeting now.
That's true.
Like time has telescoped.
Yes, that's
And
true.
the chairs, some parents have stayed to help stack the chairs.
Yes.
And people are crying and hugging and talking, and it's after the meeting.
That's true.
And the woman who's counting the checks is crying. Look at her.
That's true.
There's so much money here.
That's true.
It's enough to find a place for these kids to live. It's enough to set up a decent facility.
That's true.
So Stan, remember, we don't need it to be in a place like Chicago where they'll slip on the ice. These are
true.
kids gaining their muscle strength. They're going to need to be walking, and kids want to walk outside. They don't want to walk up and down
That's true.
hospital-like corridors.
That's true.
They want to be outside, so you need to be in a gentle climate for these children.
Yes, that's true.
A gentle climate near a top research institution. That's what you need.
That's true.
There can't be very many of those to choose from.
No.
Do you know of any, Stan?
Yes. It's a short list.
Short list. Okay, we begin there. People are crying in this room
It's true.
and hugging each other and opening up. It's not just the children who are healing. Look at the adults.
It's true.
They have hope.
It's true.
Stan looks like a completely different person from when we met him. A couple weeks, 3 weeks in his time, maybe.
That's true.
Maybe 3 weeks in
Maybe
his
3
time.
weeks.
A couple of days in our time.
That's true.
My story is our time is moving slower because we're in this reaction that is almost done. So
That's
it's
my
just
story
slowing
too.
down.